Can anyone tell me what we had in the previous session?
Good evening, sir. In previous section, discussed about functions, sir.
Kaveh, your voice is pretty low. I didn't heard anything. All right. So once again, welcome back everyone to a second session of Python. So last time we covered the fundamentals of like variable groups and function. Thank you, Rajendra and Kaveh, for reminding. So these are the building blocks we use today as we explore a very practical aspect of programming that is called file handling. So today's session gonna be interesting and also for the new for those who is first hand on file handling thing. So why is file handling important? So almost every application needs to interact with files, whether it's reading configuration system, settings, writing user data, processing logs, or managing a large database. So Python makes these tasks very straightforward. So if my voice is a little bit of hicky, shicky, you can stop me anytime. I'll try to fix it. So today we learn how to read data from files, write data to new files or append to existing ones. And we're gonna use OS module to interact with operating system file structure like checking if a file exists, creating a directories, etc. And also we're going to use shuttle module for higher level file operation like copying, moving files. So I want each one of you to follow up with me. So this time I'm not going to run the code, but it's you who is gonna run the code. So this session is like a building block of a project file organizer thing. So it will help you guys here. Alright, so I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to set yourself up with VS Code and a notepad for some tips and tricks. Alright, guys. Perfect. So we're going to start with reading from, like reading from and writing to files. So the primary function for working with files is Python is like open parentheses. So it takes a file name and a mode as argument. So these are the common file modes as I see on the screen. First one is R. R is nothing but read. A default mode if you don't use anything within the open function. So opens a file for reading and gives an error if the file does not exist. And the write mode opens a file for writing, creates a file if it does not exist. Also truncates. Can anyone tell me the meaning of truncates? Truncation, truncating. Anyone?
Which zero particular
Voice is breaking a lot. Can type it. Just tell me what's the meaning of truncation. Yes, cuts off a piece of data. Al Fahad. Somewhere right, Fahad. So truncation is nothing but if your file already exists like in like a text file and it has XYZ something. So if you write in the file instead of let's say or like let's say just adding one more new line, it will just empty the file in that and create a new one. Now not particular new one, it just empties the file if it exists and add whatever you are trying to add. That's the write mode. For the append, it opens a file for appending, like creates the file if it does not exist, and the new data is returned to the end of the file. So this is the difference between write and append mode. So it is crucial to know when to use what. For example, when you're using, let's say, some schedule or some just say, for example, you want a new piece of data every day, but you don't want to see the old thing. Let's say for logs. So for logs, you're trying to write instead of appending. So just don't want to know what happened in the previous Windows script runs, or something like that. So get yourself familiar with our write and append mode. All right. And R plus. R plus is nothing but the both read and write mode. And for the binary, B, binary mode is for reading binary files like images. So can anyone explain me why are we using a binary for images? So get like think in terms of data, how computer think, what type of file that one is. Anyone? Come on, guys. What's the binary code? Anyone? How does a PC or computer system store images in what format? Anyone can tell me that? Unless binary 0 and 1. So we use binary when we are dealing with images. And T for the text code default. And also we have W plus, we have X. So X is for it creates a file, but if already exists, it just don't do anything. We just like terminate the file. And W plus for the read and write, same as R plus. So we can either use R plus or W plus, it doesn't matter. And for the A plus, append and read. All right. So point it out. Then we'll have one example for writing to a new file. All right. Guys, follow with me. So first, let's create a simple text file and write some lines to it. So guys, before we do this, let me say it might create a file name, so it doesn't matter, right? So we'll just say we'll use file path. For, say I might insert something. I want someone to point it out for me what I'm doing wrong. All right, file. File. Guys, I feel like I'm missing something. Can anyone point it out for me? Let's just say class test. .txt. And with open. So here we use with thing has open and we give a write mode. And how to close it? So it's crucial to close a file after you have done with it. So that is a better way to use the with statement which automatically handle closing as close a parenthesis. If you don't do that, I'll show an example for that thing. So with open, has file path. So I'm trying to write a file. Can anyone tell me what mode should I use? Anyone, what mode should I use? Exactly. W as a write mode. As just say test. And I'm gonna do test.write session 2 of session 2 learning and add. And again, the other line, I'm gonna write Python on it. So here, file path. So we stored a desired file name in a variable. So the default file path will be your, let's say, I've opened that in the desktop. So so it will probably go to document folder or user folder. So with open has file path has test. So I'm opening file path has W write mode. I'm writing 2 lines. First one session 2, learning file handling, and second line has Python makes file operation easy. And I'm printing file path created successful. So the next two here, the first 2 lines add motex. Even if you want to add, you can do that. So let me try to run. Like before I run this code, can anyone tell me will it run? Anyone? Yep. got created successfully. Guys, can anyone, guys, I want you guys to run this code in your system and let me know if it work in your system. As you can see, file name is class test, like I mentioned. Created in that folder. So what path it is used for me? User, like your user folder, you can find that thing. Any doubt, people here? Any doubt, people? All right. Now we have created a file. Now let's learn how to read that file. So the same thing, I'm going to use the file path, same file as before. And with open file path, but we'll make some changes here. What if that file path does not exist? For that, we have to use exception handling. Let's just say print. So what am I supposed to use to have an exception handling? Can anyone just guess it? Anyone? Guys, I don't really appreciate you guys being very quiet. I want someone to answer questions to make it interactive, right? What should I use for an exception handling? Can anyone tell me what is exception handling? Alright, guys. So try. I'm gonna try opening file with open file path as read mode. Okay. So there are two methods. First method is reading the entire content of the file. So how to do that? For example, let's just say I am opening a variable as content. I'm gonna paste read. So here it will read everything and stored in that content. And print. So what type of exception can we expect? So first exception can we expect is file not found. The other exception is like a permission error. That is very rare. So we'll put exception error. Simple code. Entire content is this way. So reading entire content, just see. Yeah, I added 2 lines running file handle put on this file location easier. So this is one way. So the other way is we use, let's just say, going line by line instead of entire content. So this is a shortcut way. So line by line, what we have to do is so print as please follow up with me is very crucial for you to do any project. So we're using for loop for line for I or for line in test. Test is nothing but this opening file has a mode test. So I'm gonna use something called strip. So line dot strip. Strip is nothing but since you can see I used something called let's just say white spaces railing. So it will remove everything in that. So print line dot strip and I'm just closing it abruptly. So it will give me in every object in that line without any white spaces. So let's try to run it. Same thing. So, yes, Ashwant. Perfect. So what do you guys think? Which more method is easier, the first method or the next method?
First method.
Exactly. But it depends on what is our, they say, for line by line thing. It is a memory efficient method to read file line by line. So this way, it acts as an iterator, like yielding one line at a time. So it's just up to you to use what to go with. But the thing is, in first method, the file might interrupt or collapse or crash. But in this method, we can know in which line it crashed, what happened in that line, something like that with this thing. So it's better for more error handling thing. All right, now moving to append. If you guys have any doubt, you can stop me in time. So I'm going to use append, typing test to file path that is left class test. So can you tell me which file mode should I use with open as file path? And I want to add thing alpha. Yes, yes, alpha. You. So with A, so T is there. Cut. So T dot right. So I'm just adding appending this new thought. Hmm, practice is this is hot. Simple learning. So the next line, let's just say T dot right. Now, see, this is a basic thing. Now we're going for the next, like the OS module is next up. All right. So next up, we are dealing with OS module. So guys, we have dealt with read, write, and now we're going to append, print, append new contents to file path. All right. I'm just running the file, append it. Let me copy this. See, as you can see, I have appended this thought. So now the code has been added. So append mode, let me say the file pointer, like let us say your file pointer, this one, like this one. It is a file pointer. Its position at the end of the file after this one. It will be here. So instead of deleting, it writes new line without overwriting the existing constructor by use append. So let's just say I'm adding the same thing again. And I'm doing. Since I have not added what is called white spaces, just add it to here. It's important to use. So great. So now we have learned to read, write, append. So very crucial thing. So any question on this basic file operation, guys? Before we move to OS module, can you tell me any doubt if you guys have here? Why do we use strip? All right, I'll show you why we used why this is a we use strip. It removes any leading or white spaces, including the new line characters we have users used here. So for going line by line, for example, let me show what happened if you just don't use strip. White spaces coming up here, coming up here, coming up here. Can you see the difference? Class text where it is created as to. Let me just show you. I don't know what is your path. So user. So your profile name for me, mine is Dell. You might find yours something as yours. You can find it there. I need out people. Guna, did I answer your question? Or do you have any doubt in that thing? You can even give your own path where to store that file. You can deal with that later. It's not that much thing. All right. Moving to OS model. So the Python OS model provides a way of using operating system dependent functionality like reading or writing to the system file, getting information from files, directories, etc. So you need to import OS at the beginning of script to use its function. Now we're just creating file, reading from a basic file. And now we have to choose a specific path in the file. For now, since we use no path, the default path will be the Python folder is only limited to that. That's why we use OS model. So let's just say first thing first is import OS when you're dealing with OS thing. So the first example will be we're gonna get our current working directory. So the Rajendra, it might help you because I'm doing it for you. Okay. So let's just say current directory, and option is OS get current working directory. This is a function to get current working directory. Print. If I click, this is my current working directory. This is where your file is get stored, including that test file. or where we have to practice. Soumya, it's totally up to you where you want to practice. You can even practice in that default folder like I've shown. You can even change folder if you want. I'll show you how to do that. And now we are going now to create a new folder. So since let's just say
Hello, sir.
who was yes, sorry.
Wherever the Python file we are working, there only the file is created only, no, so
Yes, for default it will be there. No,
yeah.
no.
By default, the creating file will be stored in the same file directory only, no, sir.
No. I guess you're guessing Python 313 folder, right? Or 312 folder, how with the version in C directory. That's what your question is, right? Hari. See, for any programming language, the current working directory is not the directory where the Python file exists, but the profile of the user, like you see this folder.
Sorry, sir, voice is breaking.
See, for any language or for any code such as Python, C++, Java, the current working directory is not the way the Python or Python code or the thing it's installed, but your profile, your user profile. Can anyone tell me what is the other name for this? Since a task, I want somebody to find it for you. So, Hari, I hope I've answered the question. It won't be stored in the where Python is installed, but it's only where which profile has been used. For example, if you change a profile, go to if you have multiple profile in the system, if you some other profile, it will store in that thing, not in the previous thing. That's why Python uses path for this such thing. So we have found our current working directory. Now we'll try to create a new folder here. So let's just say I'll do the same code. So, new dir name. So I'm creating a new folder name. Test. Okay. And now the main thing is we have to join it. How to join it? For example, our current working path is this one. And now we have to give a new path where it should be stored. So instead, for safer way to build this path, we use new directory path. So we use os.path dot join. This function I'll explain you after this thing. So we'll give a current working directory. It will be like here, this one. And next it will be new directory name. So os.path.join is nothing but it is recommended way to combine path components. So it handles path separators, let's just say uh, like this or like this. So currently across different operating systems. So Mac OS or some other thing, Windows or some Linux or some. So it's recommended to you join the path name so before we proceed. Alright. And now we have joined the path. The next thing is handling. If not, if the folder already exists, path exists, which path? This path if already exists, it will be okay. Sorry. If this OS path does not exist, create a new path. So os dot mkdir make directories and another folder for the name for this path include name. So if the path does not exist, the folder does not exist, make it. So print it. And else print already exists. As simple as that. So you can even use removing if removing not, like if OS path exists, creator, else make error. It's up to you. It's your own logic. This is the way we are creating the folder name here. So any doubt, people? Hari,
Hello, sir.
uh, do you have any doubt in this particular thing?
So I have one doubt, sir. Actually, I didn't get clearly. In read-write operation, we created the text file which is named as a file path to the variable and a value named as a text at the end. But the file is created at the where the Python code is stored. I
No,
mean,
no,
where the Python code is located, there only it created. No, sir.
no, it is not like that. It doesn't work like that. See, you.
Actually, what I am trying to say is the created new file where it located, sir.
Oh, okay, okay, that's your question, right? So, okay,
Yes, sir.
so to find out that, use create working this thing. Check your current working directory. For me, my current working directory is this one. For you, it may be different. For example, if you have the for Python folder, Python file in a particular E drive, C drive, it may be created in the same folder. It may not be created in the same folder because if you don't have to use path permission here.
Actually, I'm using a Linux OS, so it has an root user access. So it's directly as a access to store a file wherever the Python file is located.
It might be. Yes,
Sorry,
Hari, you
sir.
are right. You are right. You are right. It may differ to
Yeah,
OS.
that's what I am asking, sir.
Yeah, it may differ. It may differ person to person. That's what I show you to find out where what is your current working directory. So just simple, you have to just get os.get current working directory and print it out so you will get to know where your file is working. Or I want everyone or some of you to print me your current working directory to help others know how it differs from person to person.
So what you are saying?
Print your current working directory and get that output and send it in chat so others get to know how it is like that.
Right now, sir.
Ah, yeah, right.
Actually, I don't have a laptop now, sir. I'm seeing it is in my mobile phone only. I'm just asking to you.
All
That's
right,
why.
all right, right. Thank you.
Okay.
Guys, if you don't have any doubt, let's run it again. Since I ran again, the file already exists because we created it once. It will give an error, else string as it already exists. All right. And now we will check what are the file. For example, now I want to check what are the contents in the file. Print. Let's just say contents of current okay, character and I'm checking. what is my current working directory. Right. So we are going to use for loop for I in os.this directory. So this function lists whatever the contents in the current working directory of your folder. os.list current working directory print f I. These are all the contents of the current working directory. Full include everything in one hidden folders. And now, how can we do to check the specific thing, specific file to check? So, guys, take a note of it. Okay, let's do that here. So, file, show it, and I want to check if this file exists in the to class or the status. So this is a test file views. Make sure to give the extension because it may be a folder, it may be something. So if os.path, I'm checking if the path exists. The current working directory. Wait. Yes. See, it exists. You have it's here. The folder with the text file which we created, for example, for the first time, we were writing a reading files. So this is the method. So os.path, yeah, it checks if this thing is available in the current working directory. How it does it? For example, so my path is whose path. We'll just add like this. It will check if this exists. It's as simple as that. If it exists, you will just print it exists. If it doesn't, it's just print doesn't. Simple. So we have learned here how to use OS module, how to check the path, how to check the file if it exists, how to make a new folder, how to list the content of the folder. And now we'll move to shuttle if you guys don't have any doubt here. So any question about this OS module, people? We also have many things in this module. We can even get OS.path, get size. Also, we have here's the renaming of a folder. Just what we have to do is rename. Old name is class underscore text, and the new, and we have to give the new name. So the thing is old name, new name. As simple. That's it. So renames a file or a folder from a new name to old name. So we have plenty in OS module. So these are the crucial things we learn. So the OS module is very powerful. The OS.path is a submodel of OS model. So that's particularly useful for path manipulation. So we use path exist, path join. There are many more functions like it is a file or it is a folder to check OS dot. Let's just say path, checking if that thing is file or a folder. Checking if it is a file or it's a folder. Just plenty of them. So any question in OS model? Yeah, shut it over. All right. So when the OS model provides basic files to operations, the shuttle, something called Shell utilities. Shuttle. It offers functions for higher level operation like copying, moving, deleting entire folder trees. So let's just see some examples. First, we have to import Shuttle. Make sure you import OS also for this. So let's say we're using Shuttle for copying or moving files. So we need OS for path. So source file, I'm trying to copy and move a file from one folder onto the source file. And I want to move this file to some other folder. So this is my source file. Now we give the destination of the folder where it does exist. Name. So I want to, what is the folder name I created before? Can you tell me what is the folder name I created before? Help me out. I got this. So I want to move that file to this destination folder. Now we have to give the path destination directory path. So OS dot path join. So if the current working directory, we can just shortcut and put and the destination is go. So now we have given the source file where to go and the path of where to go. And now using the shuttle of copy. So shuttle copy, we have to keep source and destination. Source and the destination. Destination can be a file path or a directory path. So the destination directory, the file is copied into it with the same name. So let's just say if OS dot path exists. If this folder already exists, if you take the current path, if it doesn't exist, you create one. So source file and OS dot path. I want to check if this folder is directory or not. So I'm giving that example for you. So shuttle dot copy. This is a function which moves or copies one file to another file. Copy. Copy what source file. If destination path. This path. Simple. I may have made some mistake. I want you guys to point it forward and see the logic. Logic is everything. Right? Yes. All right. Now tell me what went wrong. Anyone tell me what went wrong? Come on, guys. Error. It gave me error. To find out error, we can use exception handling. It is one of the examples here I'll show. So what one type of error is if this path does not exist or maybe destination folder did exist. C just gave class interface. So what one thing we can do is whether source file does not exist, a destination folder does not exist. When this exists, it might have created a noted issue. So only one thing is a class not defined properly. When a file is copied to, as you can see the path name here. Now it would have been moved. Since we use copy, it would have been copied to destination folder and that would have been remained the same. Any doubt?
Hello, sir.
Yes, sorry.
How to get familiar with the modules, sir, like OS Shuttle or any other module? Whatever the Python modules are exist, how to get familiar with that?
I didn't get your question.
For example, now you are saying import OS in OS operating system. You know what are all the you are including the inbuilt functions like join, copy, exits, like that.
Okay.
How can I know that functions? How to get familiar in with that?
See, for that we have to do the deep dive research. So first thing we have to go to Stack Overflow or go to some other website, then it will list everything because there's plenty of things. Even I don't know many things in what are the things in OS, certain thing pre-built. So for that we have to know what to take this. So it might be getting widgets, but it might be VS Code would have been widgets, but not all the Python codes had that one. What I recommend you is go to net. There will be PDF stating what are the functions ClassOS has certain selected. So it's hard to remember, but it's very crucial to know very basic use one like we used to.
So the only way is going to analyze and research what are all the functions are there already, what are the functions used. So we have to get know about it, right, sir?
Exactly. So there
Okay,
are
sir.
plenty of the things so we can't get to know within Python store because we have to go in somewhere. That's why we have been here. So we learned few similar things with Shuttle. We learned Shuttle.copy. Okay. So now let's combine Shuttle and yours together. So if you guys don't have any doubt here, let me move. Starting from the scratch, let's just say, let's create a dummy file to move here to folder. Or maybe if you guys know, because we have already done this, maybe let me try to delete their path. So, what should we import OS? Better. So now for the path to remove, for example, let's just say mm, I want to delete this destination and folder. Okay. So if not, I'm checking if the path exists or not for your evaluated path doesn't exist later. I want it to be later. Create destination. Okay. So I'm trying to create a temporary directory here, and I'm going to go into utility os dot make source tool. Okay, make. And now we'll add a let's just say temporary folder too. So we open os dot path And let's just switch down the this. It's creating a 5 text file. Now we have created a dummy file name here. You don't get confused with the photo. So now I'm creating a destination folder as a new Python test one as a new file. I'm adding a dummy text file with the same folder with OSR for that one. And now I'm going to remove it shuttle dot rm3. rm3 shuttle dot rm3 is nothing but so this function deletes a directory and all of its contents. It is one of the very powerful shit. It can lead to data loss if used incorrectly. You can even delete your entire system thing if one get installed. So be careful when you're using this. So setting the RM3. What to remove? I want to remove this one. Python underscore this one. Print. Yeah. So you can even add exception handling with the folder and packet method. So for the meanwhile, for shortcut, I will use this. Okay. Can anyone tell me what went wrong now? I miswrote something. It's clearly in front of us. I guess no one is giving attention to it, I guess. So, since the last time went up to here, just by creating the Python file. That's any doubt here. And we also have os dot remove os dot same thing as schedule. This thing. For individual file remover, we can use os.remove. For empty directory, we can use os.rmv. So OS and schedule go hand to hand. You might find the same type of function here and there. Any doubt, people? So Shuttle is a fantastic for managing collection of files and folders. Remember the RM3 warning. So it's removing the whole folder if something goes wrong. One wrong. It might be delete or worse thing. So we use. So let's take a quick review. We only file creation, like a read, write, and append. We also visit exception handling, has file not found error. We also use OS that path that join for path. We also learned about remove RM3. We also have gone through let's just say what we have gone rename. So there's plenty of. So we also went with the mode. What are the mode we have as a read, write, E plus, W plus, R plus, E plus. So also today we covered a lot of ground on file handling, like creating form writing. We also use OS module for directory operation parameterization. We also use Shuttle for higher level operations like moving, deleting of folder and the contents. So this skills are essential for building real world Python application. All right. Any question for us? We already passed 5 minutes. I usually one clinically use they have gone through side by side if you would have clear concept. Because this thing is really crucial for your further project, like disclosing for documents. Any document. Or yes, I just think about. Okay, guys, thank you. Sorry for taking 5 minutes. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Please, for the next time, try to keep it active. Because you only learn when you are given